Damn, I am late. Way later than I ever like to be, but better late than never, I suppose. I ran through this, recorded it and everything, and I was kind of chopping it up to, edit it, make it a little shorter, more digestible. And in the process of doing that, I accidentally deleted a really awkward part, like right in the middle of the run, got deleted. It was like in between, like I want to say it was about half of the life of the Steam Krakens up to the start of Wave 3, the robots. You can't just get rid of that. I mean, you gotta have it all in there. So, had to rerun it. And it kind of works out better this way that I did because I ended up doing a lot better. The main thing was this wave, actually. It's not like it was difficult, especially since I have Blue Orin rocking with us, but originally I brought Beatrix instead of Core, and that works, but it does result in a ton of breaks. I'm talking like 30 plus breaks, which even if you're going through this with 2 parties and your turn count's not that high, that amount of breaks, I barely made the overall score with that. So I mean, it worked, but I guess it was a blessing in disguise that I made that mistake, because now I was able to go back in and do it a lot more efficiently. And having Core alongside Orin is very helpful, because if you're unaware, these whales do at one point completely negate any amount of break game, battery, any of that stuff. So they're gonna break you, or mainly Orin. They're gonna break Orin a lot. But if you just link with him via Core, he won't get broken. Well, most of the time he won't. But I think it's that, I don't remember what it's called, but that like Ice Breath Plus or whatever it's called, that was breaking here and there. Not all the time, but I want to say it was 6 breaks total in this whole run, which I'll take that, given how common it is to be broken by these things. It's not like they're threatening, they just go a lot. At least with Orin, they're not threatening. I'm seeing a lot of people who skipped Orin. I don't know why you'd skip Orin, but a lot of people who did skip Orin are running Gladio for this, and it seems to be working out just fine. But I'm more partial to Orin. I like him more as a character, and he's better than Gladio at this point in the game, absolutely. Now, as far as the burst I used, Bart's isn't really the best choice for this wave. It's working out fine right now, but the second we get out of here, we're not going to be able to battery. And his bread and butter is battery, but that's not all he can do. I mean, he was helping the brave damage output of the other two, especially Core. Orin doesn't really need it, but Core needed it a little bit. Not as much as he does normally nowadays, because if you're unaware, this stage does not have Lufenia Plus level defenses. So you can bring some older characters. The way they balance it is they give you 30 actions per team as opposed to 50. So it's like they left a lot of the defenses and reductions and stuff the same as it would be for normal Lufenia as opposed to Lufenia Plus. They just gave you less time to do it, which I think is more appropriate given the fact that it's boss rush. This felt like less of a slog, I'll say. Except for this wave. This wave kind of takes forever. It's very effective, it's very turn efficient, but it takes forever. It's just, you go, the whales go, you go, the whales go, you go, the whales go, rinse and repeat until they die. That's pretty much it. The only thing I was really watching out for is making sure that Core was linked with the right person to maximize damage output. Like if they switch targets, because right now I'm trying to link with Orin as much as possible, just to prevent breaks as much as I can. But if it gets to a point where both of these whales decide they're looking at Bart's, I'm going to have Core link up with Bart's, because that way we'll just get more counters off. Orin's going to be countering everything regardless, but Core's only going to do it if he's linked with somebody. So we might as well just double up on that damage output. Needless to say, Corin is MVP here. Bart's did pull his weight despite the issues I just mentioned, because in that next wave, we get the burst effect back. Well, it's not like it went away, but you know what I mean. The battery was lacking here. But it came back in the next wave, and it put in some serious work. Everybody's capping, cutting through those those steams pretty quickly. I liked it. Anything to kill those stupid dapper dickheads as fast as we can. Honest to God. Enough of them. I know we haven't seen them in a while, but one more time is too many. I'm good on those guys forever. But forever. It's not even like I think they're necessarily difficult anymore, but I'm just sick of seeing them, dude. Like, we got plenty of other stuff we could be fighting. I mean, this I didn't mind. I mean, it's just a reskin of the zombie whales, but I'm cool with this. It's something new, at least. If I did have the option, a green ace would be here instead of Bart's, 100%. Like that, I'm trying to think of a better setup for this wave than Orin, Core, and green ace, and I can't think of one. I think that's probably the best one. Just ridiculous off-turn damage over and over again. I mean, our damage output isn't bad here, but if we had ace on top of what Orin is doing, we would be in even better shape. I don't remember the turn that we ended this wave on. I'm not really sure, but this by far took the longest. Again, not really difficult to say, just time-consuming. But look at Core go, though. Damn, he's going in. At last, red health. A light at the end of the tunnel. That's a good sign. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what their orb is. I know someone's gonna tell me. I know someone named Excalibur is gonna tell me in the comments because it's always him. And good on him for doing so, because yeah, he knows his stuff. In fact, okay, I know I keep shouting this guy out, but there's a reason, because he keeps doing awesome stuff. Have any of you guys seen the infographics that he's making? I mean, everybody knows that Tomberry Troop does the infographics for the characters whenever an LD or a burst is released or a rework or something. But this guy makes these infographics for the boss mechanics for each fight, and every bullet point, exactly what to watch out for, laid out in such an easily digestible way that I really think that they deserve more attention. So, yeah. Go check out his stuff. I'm pretty sure Tomberry is going to be promoting them now. And if they aren't, and I'm just under that impression, then hopefully what I just said will convince them to do so. I think they're doing it already, though, pretty sure. They should be. Another guy, Deathstroth, he does something. His isn't as much, here's all the mechanics, as much as it is, here's a bunch of viable strategies and team comps in the form of an infographic. And he'll kind of label them, or like name them, I'll say. And a good example would be Illusory Lighthouse, you know, the ghost that everybody hated. He made an infographic where he just detailed a bunch of different approaches to take and named them all, like the Agrius approach, the Sid Raines approach, so on and so forth. So, I don't know. That kind of stuff deserves recognition, man. Like, they are both much more ambitious than I am when it comes to this game. Especially when it comes to doing the research and when it comes to putting the help out for other people to see. I mean, all I do is make my videos and talk about it, and half the time there's like a bunch of stuff in the fight I don't even know about. Like right now, I don't even know what this orb does. But if you want like better, more concise, more detailed information, go to those guys, man. Like, I'm just here to talk shit and play the game and have fun, but they put the work in and it shows. So, yeah. Credit where it's due. So all this to say, I mean, the information is out there. People are putting in the legwork. It's all out there. So, I don't know. If I want to go on a rant, I don't know if this is a rant or just an observation. I guess you guys tell me. And no, I'm not trying to, you know, shit on people who are struggling. I mean, it is what it is. Like, we've all struggled with stages. This isn't some, like, elitist, you know, snobbery or whatever when I say this, okay? Can I at least just get that out of the way? But it does get a little frustrating when you see a lot of the same people struggling with the same stuff when it's things that you know you've told them about already, like multiple times, and they just won't get it. And I don't know if it's just lack of understanding or lack of listening or lack of execution. Like, I don't know, and maybe it's different in every case, but in some cases I'll be honest, it really is straight up like, play my game for me. And no, I've got my own game to play. I'm not going to do that. Like, case in point, saw an example in the land of cringe of his Facebook. Shocking, right, that I saw some shit like this there. But somebody posted something, like, they posted some status that said, guess there's no point in asking, but I need help with Lufenia stages. Which is already just not a good way to start off if you're asking for help. I don't know, that's just, what the hell. And then, but despite that, people are trying to help the guy, like, okay, like, what do you need help with? And his response is just, Lufenia stages. Okay, which ones? And he just goes, all of them, I haven't beat one in months. Okay, dude, why is it like pulling teeth to try to get you to tell me what you need help? You're asking for help. At least give me some specifics at least. So, okay, so not only do you want me to build your team and tell you how to play your team, but you want me to do detective work and figure out which stages you're struggling with and why. Like, are you going to do anything to further your own help? Or do I have to do literally all the work? It was like, holy shit, man. And I see a lot of that. And that's frustrating, especially when you can contrast that with the stuff I'm talking about before. All of the information is out there. And I understand, you know, sometimes people just don't know where to find it, and that's why I'm here promoting people like this. But I don't know, man, it's just like, there's such a wealth of info, and a lot of it is so good, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, what's that old saying? You can lead a horse to water, but at the end of the day, he's still a dumb fucking horse. I think that the expression goes something like that. Back to the fight, real quick though. You may have noticed by now that I have not brought anything to deal with these orbs. And yes, these orbs, I actually know what they are. You gotta hit them with water and thunder while they are weak to it. And I don't think that they're naturally weak to it. I'm like 95% sure they're not. You gotta imperil them, which we can't do that. We don't have calls to do that or anything. So we gotta just go in. So the plan here is burn out these last few turns, and then with the next team that comes in, we can get these orbs back up. So really, we're going to just dump everything we got, do as much damage as possible, and get these guys out of here. They've done great work. I'm very happy with this team. Okay, back to what I was saying before, though. This just gave me another thought. In the Dissopia Discord, which, hey, link in the description if you want to join, by the way. It's a good time. One thing we do very often, daily, I want to say, is we help people who are struggling in Lufenia stages. We go in Lufenia Plus, I should say, at this point. But we go in voice chats, and we have people share their screen and show us what their problem is, and more often than not, we can identify it and help them through it. And that has helped a great deal of many people. However, I feel like it's a blessing and a curse, because I think, yes, it is helping people as far as getting the rewards and doing what they got to do. And it is helping other people become better players and figure out what to watch for. But there's other people who I think are just taking advantage of it. And they're just expecting that there's always going to be a group of skilled players to hold their hand through it and tell them exactly what buttons to press for every single stage. And that is not the point of this exercise. The point of this exercise is to get you to think of how to team build and what to watch out for these stages. It's not for us to just do it for you every time. I know that sounds cold, but it's not. It's realistic. Because otherwise, we're just enabling you to not get any better. And that's not the point of this at all. Okay, new team. Thank God Garnet is going first, so we can deal with these orbs right away. Now, I would normally never put a Cryo Call on Garnet, because that is Thunder Enchant overkill if you ask me. But in this situation, because I let the orbs drop down way too far, we had to get Enchant on immediately. Excuse me. Yeah, Enchant and Peril on immediately to deal with these orbs. Because if Garnet would have just went in and done the Thunder and then the Water, the orbs would have gone down. Because that initial hit doesn't hit for weakness. It just applies the weakness. Cryo can put the weakness on, then Garnet can Thunder. Okay, orb is satisfied. Then we can do the Water. Okay, it goes down one, But now everybody's enchanted with both elements and we're good. Because yes, this is a thunder and water orb. This is the Garnet orb. That's what this is. This is just the Garnet orb. Full stop. And now that we have tons of enchanted off-turn damage, these orbs no longer exist. Thank you, Garnet. And Cryo a little bit. Up to 8, we're all good. Ace. Oh my god. I'm kind of thinking that I wish I would have greened Ace instead of Bart's. Let me stop right there, because this does not belong on Struggle Tweets. I'm not sitting here saying that Bart is a bad character, so calm your tits. I'm not saying that, okay? I'm just saying, for me personally, I think that I would have enjoyed Ace more. Because, I mean, I used Bart's a little bit here and there. I mean, I used him for this, and I used him for... what was the other one? The Twins Luthenia? I used him for that. And then I used him for... I think Sid's fight. So, I mean, he's, you know... he's holding his own. He's a great character, but I don't know. I'm really enjoying more of the off-turn stuff lately. So, I just think that, yeah, Green Ace would have been really good. So maybe I should have done that. Regardless, either character is a good investment, okay? So don't try to say I said shit I didn't say. I know people in the comments are going to be joking, like, Clay says that Bart sucks, confirmed. But, yeah, okay, don't listen to that shit. Not what I'm saying, not true. But look at that, it just keeps going. Explosions everywhere, blind stud. He is a stud with all that damage. This is an LB only Ace, he doesn't even have high armor. Doesn't need it. Not at all. I know Garnet has blessed him with synergy stats, but still. Okay, so that Garnet orb is gone. And now, yeah, they're gonna just keep exploding. And it's just... I like all the laser beams on this team too. You got Cloud of Darkness with all of her lasers, and then you got Garnet with the arc lasers. And the studs. Yeah, I like this team a lot. This is sweet. We'll say I was a little envious of those with green twins for this particular stage. That looks just too delicious. Yeah, green twins and green ace are where it's at for this boss rush, for sure. Alright. Oh, we haven't fought you fucking things before. Here we go again. I'm sure we all remember how tanky these ads are. These are not your normal ads. You might as well just picture this fight as if all those ads, all those robots are the same size. Because their health is pretty damn close. These are the tankiest ads ever. They always have been. Every time we see this stupid thing. Tanky ads. So, this is, like I said, this is not your typical one big target, two ads fight where you focus just the big one and let the other two die of splash damage, because they won't die of splash damage. You gotta focus the shit out of them. Which you're gonna see me doing a little bit here. I want to go into Cloud of Darkness burst right now, but we need to get set up first. Which means we need this. We need the ace traps. We need all of it. So, I want to let them go just once, so that we can get the blind studs going off. So this way, whenever anybody acts, we'll have Ace's damage, we'll have the COD lasers, every 4 actions we'll have the Garnet arc lasers. It's going to be beautiful. And I'm surprisingly, maybe this will change down the line, but as of lately, I think a lot of it has to do with just the stages we're getting and some of the restrictions, I guess, but I have been loving Sid Rain's Call a lot more than Sid Rain's lately, and that may be shocking to hear people say, but it's just too good. Put that on your burst character? Like I said, I don't think I could ever not have this on my burst character unless there's launch immunity. And in this boss rush, yeah, I didn't mention this, I'm sure people know already because I'm late, but the Steam Krakens in the middle are completely launch immune. You can't launch them at all. You can launch everything else though. But again, wave 1, if you can't battery, what good is launching all the time? Not very good at all. But here, we don't have to worry about that. Here, we'll have all this AoE with launches in this burst. It's going to be nice. With 8 turns to spare and a summon, this is in the bag. Let's go. 15 stacks for the overhead. We can freely spam these beams. Hell yes. It would be pretty damn cool if the ace blind studs went off in the burst, but that, I think I'm probably asking for too much. That would just be, God, that would be sexy. But, you know, nothing's perfect. We at least have Garnet adding a little bit of additional damage in here, so I can't really complain. It's not like COD even needs the help to damage in a burst. Holy hell. I mean, we're doing all this. We're only halfway through this burst sequence. We still have 8 actions and that Pandemonium summon. It's over. It's over. You can turn the video off. You already know how this is going to end. I don't need to talk for 4 more minutes. I do, because there's 4 more minutes left in this video, but you already know how this is going to end. Thank you for the battery, Garnet. You're perfect. You're beautiful. I'm so happy she's good again. See, to me, she's a weird case as far as DFFOO is concerned for me, because I started playing this game. I'm not a day one, by the way. Not day one, by the way. Yeah, I started playing right before her character event. So she was one of the first characters I had built with the 15 and 35, and back then, she was pretty disgraceful. Like, she was pretty bad in those days. And it really wasn't until she got EX Plus where she was worth bringing. Then she became a powerhouse for a long time. It's over 10 million, bitch. So I'm glad that she's back in the mix. Like, it makes me real happy seeing her rocking shit again. I love it. 7 actions and a summon. I mean, I could just play around. Like, do we need to go in right now? I probably should have to save turns or whatever, but does it matter? Not really. You're mine now. There is no escape. I don't even know what your orb is either. It doesn't matter what your orb is. Your orb is dead. You're dead. What are you going to do against the ultimate airship? Nothing. I've heard some people say, you know, I really wish that the arc animation in this game was as long as it was in Final Fantasy IX. And I say, nay, I'm very glad that it's not. That animation is like 2 straight minutes of that thing flying down, like flying through all the planets, coming down from space. You see the shadow over the planes and charging up the laser. Like, it's a whole fucking thing every time that summon comes out in that game. So I'm glad, especially doing commentary. Like, if I had to add an extra 2 minutes every time art came out, I'm good. I think the animation is just long enough and just brutal enough, just explosive enough. I'm a big fan of it. See, we're not supposed to use calls in the summon. That's usually a big no-no, but who cares? It's time to fly. Get rained on. They're still exploding, Jesus! But Ace, they're already dead, please! Yeah, this is disgusting. In the best way. Bye-bye! I gotta say, all in all, I thought this boss rush was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this one. Not much to complain about. I mean, you know, I did pull for the banner character, so maybe I'm not the best person to ask, but it's Orin. I had to do it. I am curious who you guys ran, though. I'd love to see it, love to talk about it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry it's late, but thank you for watching.